Russia has launched more than 360 drones and missiles against Ukraine. This is the largest aerial attack of the war so far, and at least 12 people, including 3 children, died in this barrage. President Trump was furious.
I'm not happy with what Putin's doing. He's killing a lot of people, and I don't know what the hell happened to Putin. I've known him a long time, always gotten along with him, but he's sending rockets into cities and killing people, and I don't like it at all, okay? We're in the middle of talking, and he's shooting rockets into Kiev and other cities. I don't like it at all.
The first time Trump has turned in such a strong way on Putin. Now, to discuss, Sky News contributor Kosha Gada joins me now. Kosha, I mean, they were talking, Trump seemed to have confidence that Putin was going to respect him as a man and respect their negotiations. It doesn't look like that with this sort of aerial missile and drone barrage overnight.
For sure, we've come a long way from his rhetoric in the campaign that this would be solved in 24 hours, that's for sure. I think, what Putin's calculus here is that he is aware, as many are, that there aren't so many moves left on the chessboard, because domestically there is almost zero appetite for the U.S. to continue funding Ukraine to the levels that it has been, or any sort of military involvement or security guarantees or any of that. And he probably is aware of that. That's Putin's ace in the hole, and so he's deciding to go on offense. It obviously didn't play well with Trump because they're in the middle of peace talks and negotiations. I think the only moves that he has left are this carrot and stick diplomacy, because he's going to stay in the diplomatic lane. That's what all indications are right now, President Trump. And that either looks like more sanctions, even though that hasn't had that much impact. It's had mixed impact in the past, and or how many concessions would be offered to Russia. And we're sort of just in the spiral for now, and I hope we see a breakthrough soon, but it doesn't look very promising at this moment.
Quite interestingly, former US President hopeful Kamala Harris is here in Australia. She headlined a real estate event on the Gold Coast. Complete media blackout, though. No cameras or reporters allowed to cover it. Kosha, why the secrecy? What would she be worried about?
We can only surmise that I think this is sort of a training ground for her. So she just signed with CAA, the preeminent talent agency in the world. And this is her first major paid gig out of the gate, coming all the way to the other end of the world, speaking at this conference, and I think sort of just warming up, if you will, for probably a $200,000 to $300,000 speaking fee career that she's going to pursue, among other things. And, she's well known to not be the best speaker, not great at thinking on her feet from potentially adversarial media or scrutinous operatives or reporters in the media. And I think she's just giving her curated, stage-managed speech until she figures out what her new brand is going to be.
Just quickly before you go, Jake Tapper's new book, as we've been talking about in the show, details Biden's mental decline. I mean, there are so many stories now coming out. Another example is a staged town hall event that was so bad the campaign couldn't even use any footage from it. So, Kosha, I bring this up again because this looks like a deliberate cover-up that was seriously misleading voters.
100%. And there's a lot of these Johnny-come-latelys coming out now because the election finished. We've seen the result. And it's easy to come out now when the stakes are much lower than they were before the election. And that's the other story behind the story here. So these details will come out about the extent of the cover-up. But the media was certainly complicit in this. The authors of the book also were complicit in it. And I would say it's probably one of the biggest political scandals in modern history, the level of cover-up that happened. And everybody saw it, even if not to the full extent. And the scrutiny is going to continue, and we're going to find out more and more details. With each one, the picture looks worse.
And not just the media cover-up, because it definitely damages the establishment media in the United States, the New York Times and others that would have known about this, CNN. They couldn't not know about it if they have good sources in the Democratic Party, which they do, and they didn't report on it. But it also damages the institution, the Democratic Party itself. And how can voters trust it in the future when they were seriously putting forward for President Biden, a man until one of those debates, was suffering to this extent, this mental decline to this extent? I mean, it is a really big issue that there should be an apology to American voters. Kosha Gada, thank you so much for your time.